Right then, if you're fit, I'll give you a lift in.
Well, I was hoping to use the car this morning, Kev, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I've got the van.
Just to pop into town, go to the bank, insurance people.
Your car?
Well, it's Mum's, really.
Oh, it's no use to me. I can't drive. You'll have to sort it out between yourselves.
Well, it's part of the estate. Well, I don't see what difference it makes. Oh, go on, you have it. It's not going to be much use to me stuck out in the North Sea on an oil rig. As long as it's understood that I can have the use of it while I'm here.
Yeah, sure. I'll pay you for it, of course.
No, you won't. It's as much mine as it is Ron's if Mum doesn't want it.
Oh, if you're going to squabble about it, I'll sell the things. You better make up your minds here and now.
Well, I said, didn't I? They can have it, as long as it's understood that I can use it while I'm here, like this morning.
Well, how long are you going to be?
Well, I don't know, do I? As long as it takes. I've got things to sort out for Mum to save her the worry. Why?
Well, Kevin and I have got an appointment at the clinic this afternoon in Castlewich. I've taken the time off work.
Oh, well, I dare say I'll be finished round about midday. I'll drop it off for you somewhere. Where do you want it, here or the motel?
Kev?
A motel, if it's convenient.
2 o'clock in the motel car park?
Oh, lovely. Thanks.
Right. Oh, Mum, I'll probably have some papers for you to sign. Could you get an hour off work, do you think?
Oh, no, I can't. Can't it wait?
You're going to have to face it sooner or later. The longer you take over it, the more it's going to cost.
All right. Well, you can talk about it tonight when I get home.
Breakages?
Up 7% on summer, 5 on spring.
Replacements?
14% on summer, 10 on spring.
Absenteeism?
That's Kate Hamilton's department. Would you like Jill or me to take that over? Well, depends somewhat on the termination date. You've settled with Kate, of course. What date is it?
I didn't see her yesterday. It was her day off. Morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes, I'd better see Mrs. Brownlow about this.
I'll see you later.
Yes, will you excuse me?
We have to discuss your notice, Kate.
There's nothing to discuss except that I owe you an apology. This is the equipment inventory. It's back from the auditors. They've made marginal queries.
What apology?
I should have handed in my notice before. I should never have started the job.
Kate, please, sit down.
No, let's get the work tidied up. I think that Jill could take over the absenteeism and Barbara could take over
Do you think I can possibly let you go off alone and face whatever might happen to you as a result of your statement to the police?
It wasn't a statement, David. It was a confession. And my resignation will be superfluous if they decide to charge and sentence me.
If you're sentenced, Kate, then...
I'll be more in need of help than ever.
Yes.
And the more help you give me, the more Barbara will... Oh, David, you must see it. I saw it from the beginning. I just pretended that I hadn't. Now, I really don't think there's anything outstanding, except that you must remember to get on to the auditor about his queries.
Well, you're not going now, this moment.
I really left yesterday, when I came to my senses and typed my resignation. But no, I've told the police that this is where they'll find me when they decide what to do with me. It shouldn't be long.
Glenda, can you possibly take over afternoon teas? Helen's just phoned me to say she's ill.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I've got some time off to go into Castlewich.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to manage. Can't it wait? Is it important?
Well, yeah, Kevin and I have got an appointment at the clinic. I can't very well put that off.
Oh, the clinic. Oh, you're going through with that? I thought you were going to wait.
Well, we decided there's no point in waiting, really. And Kevin made the appointment.
Oh, great. Give us a call and let me know how you get on, OK?
Yeah, all right, if there's any definite news. They might not decide today in the first interview, you know, if we're suitable or not.
Yeah.
Hello. What are you doing here?
Oh, Glenda, do you know if Ronald will be home this afternoon? I've been trying to get him on his own ever since he got here.
Oh, dear me, you do sound desperate.
I am. He'll be back on that perishing oil rig before we get a chance to talk.
Well, he's gone into town this morning, but he'll be back lunchtime. He's leaving the car here for us.
If I call round about 3 then?
All right.
I thought I'd given you the sack, Miss Scott.
Oh, did you, Mr. Paul? Must have slipped me mind.
Well, it hasn't slipped mine, and it's not likely to slip it.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just going. I wouldn't stay if you went down on your bended.
Not in a million years.
Iris, you better go in case he has another go at you.
Yeah, OK. I'll see you later, perhaps. Ta-ra, then.
Oh.
Ta-ta. She doesn't give a damn, does she?
I hope she doesn't. I've got a feeling she's going to get hurt. And I don't mean by Mr. Paul.
What's the latest on Richard? I had the impression you were going to phone him back the moment I left your chalet.
Yes, and you must have been under the impression there was something I wanted to discuss with him out of your hearing.
Naturally, I got that impression. Also, naturally, I would not intrude upon confidences. But the other little matter that seemed to be in the air?
What other little matter?
His impending wedding. No hold-up, I trust.
Oh, do you?
Kate Hamilton's given in her notice, so my advice to you to check out of here was misplaced. Leaving aside the fact that you cannot check out because of the police.
If I decide I want to go, Paul, just watch me.
What could decide you?
The answer to this letter, that you're making it very difficult for me to finish.
I've spoken to Kate about her notice. It'll take effect when the police decide whether or not to prefer a charge against her.
Well, if she is charged, she should stay here. She shouldn't really have to wait her time out before the trial in some bedsit alone.
I'll suggest that to her.
No. I'll do it. You'll make it sound like a sympathetic gesture. Instead of suggesting, I'll make it sound like a request. As Christmas is coming, I'll point out that the least she can do is to stay on and explain her work to her replacement. Oh, yes, and talking about a replacement, have you got any ideas?
Well, it's your line of country, surely.
Right. I'll go ahead, then. That's if the girl's available.
Girl, job needs a responsible woman.
We need someone we know already, and who's proved that she can do it. Twice. Hello? Is Miss Miranda Pollard there, please? Oh, I see. Oh, thank you very much, then. Bye-bye. Well, she's not a London flat. That was her flatmate saying that she is spending Christmas at her father's marina.
No, wait a minute. If she's spending Christmas with her parents at the marina, she's hardly likely to agree to come here.
Hello, is Miss Miranda Pollard there, please? Thank you. Yes, I'll wait. Yes, she's there at the marina, all right.
And if you do lure her down here, what sort of Christmas do you think we'll have should deadly daddy and murderous mummy decide to join her?
A lively one.
And you do know, don't you, that Miranda knows the job? So how are you going to explain to Kate she's needed to help break the girl in?
Kate doesn't know Miranda. You're just getting jumpy at the thought of Valerie Pollard turning up. Oh, hello? Miranda? It's Barbara Hunter here. Tell me, what are you doing for Christmas?
Hello, Ron.
Hello, come in.
Glenda said I'd catch you in if I called round about now. Oh, they've been Christmas shopping. Oh, they're lovely.
Just leaving a few presents for Mum and Glenn.
Won't you be here then?
I can't stay away from work forever, love.
Oh, well, I haven't even started to think about it yet. Suppose I'll have to spend it with Mum. I hate Christmas. Ron, why didn't you answer my letters?
I didn't know how to, love.
What do you mean?
Look, what we had going was great, but, well, you did the right thing in finishing it. I realised that as soon as I got back.
It must have been out of my mind.
Oh, you and me, it would never have worked. Difference in age, outlook. It wasn't on. You had the sense to see it.
But I don't feel that way now. Honest. When I left and went to London, I could have kicked myself. That's why I wrote to you.
Just feeling lonely, that's all. now that you've seen me again.
That's just it. I know now. I really love you.
No, you don't.
Ron!
Look, you need somebody your own age. I'm not your type. I never was.
Oh, that's not true. We were happy, weren't we? Well, you thought a lot of me. You can't say that you didn't.
Yeah, of course I did. But, well, even so. We just fancied each other. That's all. That's not enough to last a lifetime, is it?
No, more than that.
Well, if it had been, you'd have married me when I asked you.
Oh, I wish I had.
Yeah, well, you didn't. There's no sense in going back.
Do you mean that?
Yes, love, I do. I'm sorry.
Fancy going out on the town again tonight?
Yes, yes, you're on. Excuse me, can you find some stamps for that, please? Okay.
Is that about what I think it's about?
What?
The branch office that wants you to go back to America.
No, that was business. Business letters I always type.
Ah, yes, this is in your own fair hands, so it must be personal.
Yes, highly personal.
Which part of America is it?
Addresses, in case you didn't know, Julie, usually to be found on the envelope. You better make it express.
Tonight's reservations for typing, Millicent, except for Mr. Potwell.
I was wondering, have you ever been to Ottawa?
Yes, why?
It's where Richard Lord went, you know.
No, I didn't know. Poor fellow. It's the dullest place in the world.
Well, I imagine your wife has explained something of the program to you.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you feel about applying for acceptance by the clinic?
Well, I'll go along with it. Anything she wants.
It took me ages to talk him round, but he's as keen on the idea as I am now.
What didn't you like about the idea, Mr. Banks?
I just didn't know much about it at first. Thought it sounded a bit risky for Glenda.
Very natural reaction.
But he knows better now, don't you? He's read all the books.
Yes, I'm sure he has.
So we're all ready to go ahead.
You do realize there may still be problems. You could be rejected as being unsuitable in some way.
Well, I don't see why, do you? I mean, we're both young, and we have been told there's no way of starting a baby in the normal way because of the blocked tubes. No hope, they said.
Yes. Well, you're certainly the kind of young couple that they're trying to help. As long as you're quite sure you want to go ahead.
Oh, of course we are. Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll put your case forward. But the final decision doesn't rest with me. I can only recommend.
Thank you, Doctor. I mean, I know not everybody's lucky enough to be accepted, but it is a chance. More than we had before.
Yes, of course. Look, Mrs. Banks, I'd like a word with your husband on your own, if you wouldn't mind just leaving us for a few moments.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps a cup of tea while you're waiting.
Thank you.
Shan't keep you long.
Yes?
It's King's Oak Police Station, Sergeant Lamont speaking. Could I speak to Mrs. Hamilton, please?
Well, I'm afraid she's not here at the moment.
Is that Mrs. Hunter?
Yes?
Do you expect her back later, Mrs. Hunter? I tried a chalet, but no answer.
Well, she keeps popping in and out. May I tell her what you're calling about?
I'm afraid I can't discuss that. But I would like to see her as soon as possible.
I see. Well, just hold on a minute. David, it's the police. Have you any idea where Kate is?
She'll be here in a minute. She went to give an okay to the bar requisition.
Apparently she'll be back in a minute. When shall I say you'll be here?
Oh, about 15 minutes. Could I see her in your office alone?
Well, we'll be doing things in the office. Can't you see her in the chalet?
I think she'd prefer the office, Mrs. Hunter. You see, that way the staff would assume that I'd come about motel business and not to see her personally.
I see. Very well.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that was Sergeant Lamont. He wants to see Kate in here.
You're obviously very fond of your wife, Mr. Banks. And from what you've been telling me, prepared to do almost anything to make her happy.
Yes.
Well, that isn't quite the same as being in total accord with her need for this baby, is it?
I've got nothing against trying for a baby. I like kids.
You just wish it'd been possible to have them in the good old-fashioned way.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't? It's also weird, this test tube business.
Weird?
Yeah, you know what I mean. To people like us, it's weird. I suppose that the scientists and the medical people just take it in the stride. So long as they don't have to have their kids that way.
Oh, I think you're being a little bit unfair, you know. I'm sure a doctor's wife would be just as anxious as yours to take advantage of medical progress in similar circumstances. Think what it must mean to a childless woman, Mr. Banks. After so many disappointments, a healthy baby of her own.
You can guarantee that, can you? That it'll be healthy?
As far as humanly possible.
I'll be honest with you, Doctor. The one thing I couldn't cope with would be a handicapped child. I mean that.
I'd say there was less chance of your wife giving birth to a handicapped child as a result of fertilization in vitro than there would be in a normal pregnancy. Tests are carried out very frequently, especially in the early stages, and a faulty embryo can be detected at 3 to 4 months gestation.
How?
Well, in the similar case, say, of an older mother, where the risks are greater. A small amount of fluid is removed from the womb, and if, on examination, any disorder in the chromosomes or some other anomaly in growth shows up, then the pregnancy will, of course, be terminated.
And it'll all have been for nothing?
Well, that's a risk that many people have had to face. You could always try again.
Yeah.
Look, Mr. Banks, unless you're very sure that you want to go ahead with this, there's no way I can recommend your wife to the clinic. Seems to me you've been talked into agreeing without being fully aware of what you're agreeing to. Now, you must be honest with me. Do you want this baby or don't you? Shall I?
Hello? Yes? Yes. Tell him to come in.
The police?
Yes. They did say they wanted me to be alone, you know.
Yes. I know. Come in.
I had rather hoped to find you alone, Mrs. Hamilton.
I'll leave if requested.
That's up to you. Very well then, but please don't say anything until I finish speaking. Now, the Chief Constable has decided that there is a case to answer. Therefore, I'll ask you to accompany us to the police station. Your solicitor has been informed and will be present, and also be present while you either verify or repudiate the statement you made 3 days ago. If you verify that statement, and possibly even if you repudiate it, you'll be charged and then cautioned in the usual manner that anything you say will be taken down and may be used as evidence. I'm sure you realise, Mrs. Hamilton, that it would be as well if you said nothing to me now.
And I'll ask you to say something to me.
Sir?
What will the charge be?